The time that was given was 4 o'clock. Welcome to our IST schedule. ISKCON stretchable time. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Eta Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Swadantikam Vandevam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakam Shri Vaishnavamscha.
You should respect all those people. You should also go. Yeah, Pada Puja Pandra Tappu. Do Pada Puja. Why you shouldn't do? That is wrong, Suresh. What you are thinking? நமக்கு மனசு லைக்கல நம்ம வேறவா ப்ரோக்ராம் அது மாதிரினா ஓகே. அவர் பாத பூஜை பண்றதுலாம் யூ கேனாட் கிரிட்டிசைஸ். நம்மளாம் போக கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லக்கூடாது. நம்மளாம் போக கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லக்கூடாது. ஏன் பாத பூஜை பண்ற ஒரு வைஷ்ணவால பாத பூஜை பண்றது தப்பா? ஏன் பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ணக்கூடாது? தாராளமா பண்ணலாம்.
Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna.
Why we shouldn't do Pada Puja for Vaishnava? He is also Vaishnava. He is a Madhvacharya. Is a very good parampara. Therima நம்மளோட பரம்பரை பத்தி அது உடுப்பி டெம்பிள்னா so famous. நம்ம குரு மகாராஜ்லாம் நிறைய போயிருக்காங்க. போவே கூடாதுன்னு எதுக்கு குரு மகாராஜ் அங்க போனோம்? எதுக்கு அந்த டெம்பிளை பத்தி பேசணும்?
மனேஸ்வரி விஷ்ணுமானுஸ்துதே தேவி பிரணமாமி ஹரிப்ரியே. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikayai Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Ananda-lila Maya Vigrahaya Hemavadivya Chavisundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Nityananda Ram ki,
I logged in. Can you speak in the host and I will control it. Chunky. No, no, no. Co-host also. Change.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki. Hare Krishna. First of all, I want to express my very, very heartfelt gratitude to all the devotees who have come here. By your presence, I am motivated to speak something. Whatever I'm planning to speak and whatever I'm trying to present, I'm pretty sure the devotees here are already aware. But I am just speaking for my purification. The more we speak Krishna Katha, the more tongue gets purified. So I have come here for my selfish greed. Because if I'm in Seattle, probably this is the time I will be sleeping or just wasting. It's a long weekend. And as a bachelor, that's the best thing you can do, just sleep and waste your time. But because of all of your presence, I am made to sit here and speak some Krishna Katha. My very, very humble obeisances to all the devotees. Please accept my very, very humble obeisances and bless me and pray for me so that I can speak some favorable words in the glorification of today's topic. Please accept my humble obeisances. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. The fruit of performing devotional service is so that we can go back home, back to Godhead. And back home, back to Godhead means Goloka Dham. So I feel very happy that after performing bhajan for so many years, finally Radha Golokanand has been merciful that I have come to the place back home, back to Godhead, the real Goloka Dham. Wow.
Can devotees on the Zoom please be?
Correct. I think now we should be good. So I feel very happy that after doing some bhajan, doing some bhakti, finally I have come. If not that Goloka, at least this Goloka. The real Goloka Dham, new Goloka. We see that Srila Prabhupada, when he came here to America, in 1975, he came to a place, Atlanta, Georgia. In 1975, for just about 3 days, Prabhupada was there in Atlanta. That's the only time he came. And when Prabhupada came there, he installed Gaura-Lila. And Prabhupada sat on the Vyasasana and sang Parama Karuna Bahutui Jana Nitai Gaurajan. It's very rare that you find Prabhupada breaks down in public. He sheds tears. Of course, in private, there may be so many instances, but Prabhupada out of humility may not express it out. But in public assembly, very, very few times that you find Prabhupada breaks down. Another instance is when he came to Seattle in 1968. Prabhupada completely broke down, thinking about his sannyas guru there. So when Prabhupada came to Atlanta in 1965, he sang Parama Karuna. So much so that he sang the first 2 lines and was so choked that he couldn't continue ahead. And Srila Prabhupada said, Gauranga and Nityananda have come to your Atlanta, Georgia. Please accept them wholeheartedly. They have come to accept all of you all. Now the only thing that is stopping is you have to accept them. They are ready to accept. They are ready to embrace you all. Many times you see when you join ISKCON new and you see Gaura-Lila on the altar, you are very perplexed who they are. And for the cricket fans, they're almost like umpires, two umpires having their hand up. So Gauranga and Nityananda have come to embrace and accept everyone. Prabhupada said, now it's time, even you all accept them. Why are we talking about this? Because today is the disappearance day of Lochan Das Thakur, the author of Parama Karuna Bhakti. So I don't know how time is going to permit, but if time permits, maybe at the end, we can, in the memory of Lochan Das Thakur and in the memory of Prabhupada, who sang this song and broke down in Atlanta, Georgia, we can maybe sing Glorify Chaitanya Nityananda. And of course, this is that season of the year. Gaudiya calendar is also broken to different parts. The first half from January to March is Gaur-Nitai season. Mahaprabhu's appearance, Nityananda Prabhu's appearance, his associates' disappearance appearance. That is done April, Maryada Purushottam Ramchandra comes. Ram Navami, Sita Navami. That is done, then our Ugra Devata comes, Narsinghadev. That is done, then you have June, July, you have Pani Hatti, Jagannath Rath Yatra. That is done August, Janmashtami. August, September time, Janmashtami comes. August, Janmashtami comes. September, Radhashtami comes. October, Kartik, our Kartik month. Yes, Giriraj Govardhan. So many festivals. You have Baulashtami, you have appearance of Giriraj, Sharad Purnima. And then you have November. What comes in November? Prabhupada disappearance. Yes, Prabhupada disappearance. And then December book marathon. So literally, not just every single day, every month is a festival in ISKCON. Every single month is a festival. So we are in that first half of the season, where it is the Gaur-Nitai season. Most often speakers will glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda. So you almost know where I am going with this. The discussion is going to be centered around Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda. So when Prabhupada came to America, when he was there in Jaladuta, Prabhupada wrote a song. And very beautifully, Prabhupada is pouring his heart out. Tava kripa hoile mora katha shuddha habe shuniya sabara loka dukha je kujibe. Prabhupada is saying that, my dear Krishna, when I reach America, he is not reached yet. Future tense. When I reach America, Tava kripa hoile mora. If your kripa is there, if your mercy is there, what will happen? Katha shuddha habe. The katha that I attempt to speak, the class that I attempt to give, that katha will become shuddha, that will become pure. But when will that happen? My dear Krishna, when you shower your mercy. Shuniya sabara shoka dukha je kujive. And all the people who come to hear, may their shoka, dukkha, lamentation, anxiety, sorrow, distress, my dear Lord, may all of that be taken away by your Harikatha. And we are living in a time when all of us are having anxiety. All of us are having stress. Mental stress, emotional stress. Talk about anxiety. Is there anyone who can put their hand up confidently and say, Prabhuji, koi anxiety nahi? Any Mahapurush here? No anxiety? And if you want to put your hand up, let me remind you, there is one anxiety that is hovering over the head of everyone in America. I-140. Priority date. Vermont Center. California Center. That is one anxiety we all have. Whichever part of America you are in, till the time you are not GC citizen, this is one anxiety. So this is the motivation to hear Katha. Prabhupada is saying by hearing Katha, this I-140 tension will go away. No priority date tension. Kali Yuga Jivas are such, till the time you don't get motivation, we are not inspired to hear. हमेशा वो चाबी लेनी पड़ती है. And we find Prabhupada in that song, he very beautifully says that, my dear Lord, I am the puppet and you are the puppeteer. The puppet has no personal independence. But based on how the puppeteer is moving the strings, that's how the puppet moves. Right? Can the puppet move on its own? The puppeteer has to move and that's how the puppet moves. Similarly, Prabhupada says, my dear Lord, Kashtera Putali Yatha Amake Nachate. I am the puppet and you are the puppeteer. My dear Lord, make me dance. Make me dance, my dear Lord, make me dance. But the question rises, where is Prabhupada getting this mood from? Well, yes, Prabhupada is an Acharya, but at the same time we find Ramananda Rai in Chaitanya Charitamrita has the same mood. Mora jiva bina yantra tume bina dhari. Ramananda Rai is telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mora jiva bina yantra tumi bina dhari. My dear Lord, my tongue is like a musical instrument. My tongue is the guitar, but you are the guitar player. Can the guitar play on it itself? Not possible. You need a player, a guitar player. You need a harmonium player, you need a mridanga player, you need a kartal player. So Ramananda Rai says, my dear Lord, my tongue is like an instrument, but you are the person who's playing that instrument. So the real credit goes to you. So Prabhupada takes the mood of Ramananda Rai, who's an eternal associate, and pens down his heartfelt feelings by saying, my dear Lord, I am the puppet and you are the puppeteer. You make me dance. So we find that even when Prabhupada was here and preaching, right from the 26 Second Avenue days, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Prabhupada would have the Bhagavad Gita classes. And the main agenda was to attract the locals, those who are present in America, present in Manhattan. So when Prabhupada was there, Prabhupada would speak about the glories of Krishna Katha. And we find that in the Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj demonstrates this mood of hearing very seriously. At the end of day 5, or when day 5 of Katha is going on, Shukadev Goswami turns towards Parikshit Maharaj and says, hey Rajan, you have not eaten for 5 days, not had a sip of water for 5 days. Aren't you hungry? One Pandav Nirjal. The next day morning, when we sing even Tulsi Arti, Yani Kani Cha Pani, we remember Pani. Previous day we fasted so much that we literally mean the words. One Pandav Nirjal is a big thing. One Janmashtami. Pandav Nirjal is still okay. Janmashtami is a bigger challenge because Janmashtami is done, you eat little, next day Prabhupada appearance. So again fasting did well. So 5 days are done and Shukadev Goswami is asking Parikshit Maharaj, my dear Parikshit, you have not eaten anything, aren't you hungry? Kuch kha lo, eat something. And at that time, Parikshit Maharaj very beautifully says, Vayam dhanyatama loke guropi kshatra bandhava Vayam piba muhusvatva punyam Krishna kathamritam. Vayam dhanyatama loke. So in Sanskrit, you have singular, you have dual, and you have plural. In English, you have singular and plural. But in Sanskrit, you have singular, dual, and plural. Singular means aham. Dual means aham avam. And plural means vayam. So the question is directed towards Parikshit Maharaj. But Parikshit Maharaj says, Vayam dhanyatama loke. My dear Gurudev, all of us are very fortunate. Dhanyatara. Vayam dhanyatama loke. So in English, like the way we have good, better, best. Positive, comparative, superlative. For all the SAT, GRE guys. Positive, comparative, superlative. Same thing is there in Sanskrit also. Dhanya, dhanyatara, dhanyatama. Fortunate, more fortunate, most fortunate. What is Parikshit Maharaj saying? That I am not fortunate. I am not more fortunate. Most fortunate. Vayam dhanyatama loke. My dear Gurudev, we are the most fortunate. My dear Gurudev, we are saying that we have not had anything, we have not drunk anything. But the last 5 days, the Krishna Katha that you are making me drink, this is way more valuable than the water. My dear Gurudev, please continue. Aniyo, please keep continuing. So we find when the day 5 is going on, day 5 is a very interesting time of the 7 days of Katha that Shukadev Goswami was speaking. After this question was asked, the conversation slightly now directs. Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question, my dear Gurudev, what happened during the Abhasur pastime? The Agasur pastime happened, and after 1 year, the friends came back home and said, Krishna killed Agasur today. In reality, the pastime took place 1 year back. So, when this question Parikshit Maharaj asked to Shukadev Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes a very interesting point. He says, Ittam smaparasha satu padaraini istat smaritananta hritak khilendriya krichrat punar labda bahi drishoshane pratyahatam bhagavata uttama uttama. In essence, our acharyas explained that when Parikshit Maharaj asked this question to Shukadev Goswami, that what happened during the Agasur pastime because of which the friends took 1 year. When Shukadev Goswami heard this, there was complete ecstasy. So much so that Shukadev Goswami fainted when giving a class. Shukadev Goswami faints while giving a class, and now Parikshit Maharaj's heartbeat is getting faster. Because now he has only 2 days. For 5 days he has been hearing. Now when they have reached the essence, the crux, the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, now the speaker has become unconscious. Now Parikshit Maharaj is thinking, Arey Baba, I waited 5 days. Now when the essence has come, now the speaker is unconscious. What to do? So there our acharyas explain, Krichrat punar labdha bahir drishoshanai. With great difficulty, Shukadev Goswami was brought back to external consciousness. But the question still arises, what did they do? What did they do? Now the speaker has become unconscious. Don't worry, don't look at me. I'm not going to become unconscious. I don't have that ecstasy that while speaking I will become unconscious. It's kind of terrifying when I'm saying all the eyes are at me. So don't worry, I'm not going to do that. But Krichrat, with great difficulty, he was brought back to external consciousness. And our Acharya explained at that time, Narad Muni, Parashara Muni, Vyasadev, Parikshit Maharaj, Jaimini Rishi, and all the sages who were sitting there, all of them took the mridangas, took the kartals, the wampers, if they were there. They took all the instruments and loudly chanted, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When the Mahamantra was done, Shukadev Goswami came back. He came back to his external consciousness. So day 5 is a very interesting scene of the 7 days of Bhagavatam. Now many times we find that not everyone who comes to hear Katha is very attentive or very interested. See, in Maharashtra, there is a very great saint by the name Tukaram Maharaj. One time, Tukaram Maharaj in the evening was giving a Bhagavatam class in Marathi, local language. So it started with about good 500 people. And he was speaking. With the eyes closed, he was going on and on and on. In the morning, 5 o'clock, when he opened his eyes, one person was sitting. So Tukaram Maharaj was thinking, oh wow, so much taste. Last 12 hours I'm speaking, you're sitting and hearing so much taste. He said, no sadhu, the mat under which you're sitting, that is my mat. I am waiting for you to finish so that I can take my mat home. This is Kali Yuga. Tukaram Maharaj thought, I am speaking Katha, he may be interested. His agenda was different. He was saying, that mat under which you're sitting, that is my mat. You finish, then I will take it. So this is Kali Yuga. Kya kare? And interestingly, there are many such instances. Parikshit Maharaj was very eager to hear Krishna Katha. Practically leaves every single thing to sit on the banks and hear. His son was a little different. Who is the son of Parikshit? Janamejaya. Janamejaya. His son is Janamejaya. Now father is interested, son is least interested. Typical Kali Yuga setting. Typical Kali Yuga setting. Father interested, son is not interested. It is only in Shastra you will find father is Hiranyakashipu, son is Prahlad. In reality, it is the other way around. So Janamejaya was not very interested. So they called the sadhu. They called Jaimini Rishi, yes. So they called Jaimini Rishi. And they told him that, Iska kuch karo, he's not interested. Do something. Now, devotees of the Lord are very intelligent. Krishna Bhakta E Vada Chatur, or at least they're supposed to be intelligent. So he was called. He was called. Now he understood that if I just speak Krishna Katha, he is not going to hear. तो क्या करे? No, in Hindi we say, जब घी सीधी उंगली से ना निकले तब उंगली टेढ़ी करनी पड़ती है. Now he understood, if I speak Krishna Katha, Janamejaya is not going to hear. So he just said 2 words. He said only 2 words. Please repeat. Go Haranam and Vanabhangam. Go Haranam and Vanabhangam. What was the first? Second? 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 Go Haranam and Vanabhangam. So he just said 2 words. Now Janamejaya said, what does Go Haranam mean? What does Vanabhangam mean? Please explain. So this sadhu, Jaimini Rishi, he said, let's start with Vanabhangam. From Vanabhangam, Vana means forest and Bhanga means destruction. So from Vanabhangam, he explained how Hanuman went to Ashokvan and set the whole Ashokvan on fire. So he said, okay. And how about Goharanam? What does Goharanam mean? And from Goharanam, he explained how the cows of Maharaj Virat were stolen and Arjuna went and got them back. So Goharanam and Vanabhangam. Now Janamejaya said, this is okay. But why did Hanuman go and set the whole Lanka on fire? And why were the cows stolen? So now with this question, it started with 1 word, then 1 sentence. Now he spoke the whole Ramayana and Mahabharata. Full ISKCON Desire was downloaded. Pura suna diye. Now that Janamejaya, who was least interested, now ended up hearing whole Ramayana and whole Mahabharata. Vanabhangam and Goharanam. In August, I was in South Carolina for Janmashtami. They have a center there and my god brother is there, so he manages it. So he had called. So I was quoting this story. The class was done. After the class, 1 6-year-old came to me. And he said, Prabhuji, I have a question. He said, Virat had cows? So I said, yeah. So he said, oh, in the TV, I see him with a bat. I said, Arey Baba, not Virat Kohli. Maharaj Virat. Only their name is similar. Personalities are different. And my goodness, the sincerity with which he said, मुझे डर लग रहा था ना बोलने के लिए. The way he said it, I was convinced that yes, I am talking about Virat Kohli only. He said, in the TV, I only see him with a bat. I said, not Virat Kohli, Maharaj Virat. It's such a sad state, dear devotees. India is in such a state where they know Virat Kohli, but not aware of Maharaj Virat. So with 2 words, then 2 sentences and 2 epics were taught. And now Janamejaya ends up becoming a devotee. We see the same parallels even in Shukadev Goswami. When he came out of the womb, apparently plays the part of not being very interested and goes to the forest. And for him, it's again 2 verses. From the Venu Geet and the glorification of Putana. And then he comes back. So hearing Krishna Katha is very, very important. And Shastra time and again hammers this point as to how important it is. So we find that Prabhupada, of the various books that he has given, whether it is the Bhagavad Gita, whether it is the Bhagavatam, whether it's the Ishopanishad, when Prabhupada was there in Radha Damodar Mandir, Prabhupada was translating Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada started in Mukunda Mala Stotra. Prabhupada finished the first 6 verses. Then Prabhupada paused in order to start Bhagavatam. And now he was so engrossed in Bhagavatam that he could never come back to Mukunda Mala Stotra. So later verses are finished by his disciples. So when Prabhupada was there in Radha Damodar Mandir, he was translating. And one Brajavasi friend of Prabhupada came to meet Srila Prabhupada. This was in the 1960s. So he came to meet Prabhupada. And when he saw Prabhupada, Prabhupada was translating with a Parker pen. 1960, Parker pen in Radha Damodar Mandir, Vrindavan Dham. So he was translating with a Parker pen. So now he was a friend. So he looked at Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, Parker pen. Now friends, right? Like when you're friends, some jokes here and there. We said, Swamiji, Parker pen. Now look at Prabhupada's bit. Prabhupada said, I hope everyone understands Hindi. Prabhupada said, और इसी भागवत को पढ़कर सारे जीव भवसागर पार कर देंगे. He played with the word of Parker. One understanding is Parker pen, while another understanding is to cross over material existence. So while Prabhupada was writing Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada realized that no one has commented on Chaitanya Charitamrita. There is no English version to it. And that is the need of the hour. That is literally the need of the hour. So Prabhupada then diverts all his energy into glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, writing down Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And most of the purports that we find, most of the books that Prabhupada wrote were between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. The time when we are deeply meditating the pastime of Kumbhakaran, that is the time Prabhupada is writing. Just imagine, dear devotees, at night 12 to 4 is what Prabhupada is writing, and look at the depth of the purports. Night 12 to 4. If we are asked to write in the daytime with full energy, with full facilities, everyone is nodding. I don't think I have to even complete the sentence. We may not even do 1/4. 1/4 is also a big exaggeration of what Prabhupada has done. But Srila Prabhupada did this 12 to 4 at night time, glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we find Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that form of the Supreme Lord. Very, very compassionate, very, very merciful. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came down to this world, he accepted everyone. When Krishna comes down, Krishna kills the demons. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never killed anyone. Yes, Mahaprabhu kills the anarthas, but Mahaprabhu never destroys the physical body. Unlike Krishna, in one go, Krishna can invoke the Sudarshan Chakra and sever the head. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is ready to accept anyone and everyone. And in this attempt, Prabhupada starts writing various books to let the world know about the glorious magnanimity of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So when Prabhupada is writing these books, glorifying the Supreme Lord, Chaitanya Charitamrita is one book, but in that endeavor, Prabhupada wrote many other books. Srila Prabhupada wrote so many books glorifying the Supreme Lord. In the Garga Samhita, there is this very beautiful narration that Gargacharya gives. One time, Srimati Radharani, she came to Siddhashram to meet Krishna. And when Srimati Radharani came to Siddhashram to meet Krishna, at that time, after the interaction was done, Srimati Radharani went back to her room, her apartment, her condo, her house, whatever it is. She went back to her room. And Rukmini came back, and Rukmini saw that Krishna is not getting sleep. Krishna is awake. So Rukmini turned towards Krishna and said, "What happened? You're not sleeping today." So Krishna said, "Yeah, I'm not sleeping because Radharani is not getting sleep." So Rukmini said, "Acha, why is Radharani not getting sleep?" So Krishna said, "Radharani is not getting sleep because Radharani has a habit at night." When he said, "What habit?" Krishna said, "At night time, Radharani has a habit of drinking hot milk. She has a habit of drinking hot milk. So because she has not got her share of hot milk, she is humble that she is not asking. But because she has not had hot milk, she is not getting sleep." Rukmini said, "Big deal, I will go and give hot milk." So Rukmini goes and gives a glass of hot milk to Srimati Radharani. Now when Rukmini comes back to massage the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna's feet has blisters, completely burnt. Now Rukmini is not able to understand, just like we are having a question mark on our face. What is the connection? Rukmini is not able to understand. When I went, you were perfect. Now I'm coming back, your feet is having blisters. What is the mystery? What is the understanding? Krishna at that time explains that, "My dear Rukmini, the milk that you gave Srimati Radharani was very, very hot. Was very hot. And because that milk was so hot, it almost burnt the tongue of Srimati Radharani. And now she's so humble that she drank the milk, but it caused pain in her heart. And because Because she has my lotus feet in her heart. Because her heart was burnt by that hot milk, my dear Rukmani, my feet has blisters. Look at the level of Srimati Radharani's love, dear devotees. She is having the lotus feet of Krishna in her heart, and by the hot milk, by the power of hot milk, that lotus feet which is there in her heart, the lotus feet of Krishna, gets completely burnt, who in reality somewhere else, not even in close proximity. When Rukmani heard this was too much for her. She knew how close she is there to the Supreme Lord, but this was love on another plane altogether. She was welcomed to the land of Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan Dham 101. This was very high class of love that she was introduced to. And this is why, the reason I'm quoting this story, this is why Prabhupada would always say, at night time, read Krishna book because that reminds you of Krishna, and drink hot milk because Radharani has the habit of drinking hot milk. So, reading Krishna book and drinking hot milk is nothing but remembering Krishna and doing the activity that Srimati Radharani does. Prabhupada is such a genius, he may have not told this, but indirectly he just puts things into perspective and puts it into practice so that we get into the habit of remembering Krishna and getting into the activity of what Srimati Radharani does. So for the devotees who have Radha and Krishna in their home, this is something that we can do, offering hot milk, because Garga Samhita clearly says Radharani loves to drink hot milk at night. So Srila Prabhupada gives the Krishna book, which is the summary study. At the same time, we find Srila Prabhupada writes this epic, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the glorious pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And as we were making this point, that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's the Lord of Kali, to preach about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so many acharyas came down. So many acharyas came down to preach about Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the Simha Guru, the Lion Guru, the Gurudev of our Srila Prabhupada, was once sitting near Jalangi river. And while he was sitting there, he was feeling very sad. Why? Because his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, had already departed. And his Gurudev, Gaur Kishodas Babaji Maharaj, had already departed. So both his powerhouse, his motivation, his inspiration, both were not there in this world. So he was feeling very sad. So while he was sitting near Jalangi, a page of paper flew near him. He was sitting and a page of paper flew near him, and that contained a verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please kindly repeat. Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prem, Seva Pravartan, Dukta Tirtha Uddhara, Ara Vairagya Sikshan. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was sitting, and this page came, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur opens this verse from the Adi-Lila. This is a verse, this is an instruction that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives Sanatana Goswami. What does it say? Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prem, Seva Pravartan. Krishna Bhakti, Bhakti unto Krishna. Krishna Prem, love of Godhead. And Seva Pravartan, the mood of performing devotional service. Lupta Tirtha Uddhara, excavating lost holy places. Lupta Tirtha Uddhara Ara Vairagya Sikshan. Vairagya means renunciation, and Sikshan means to teach. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Sanatan Goswami, my dear Sanatan, these are the activities that you have to do. Establish Krishna consciousness, establish Krishna Bhakti, establish Krishna Prem, establish Vairagya renunciation, establish devotional service, and establish the lost places that are not to be seen in front of the naked eye. So Sanatana Goswami read this verse, which was told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he got inspiration. And now Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who had lost inspiration, who was dejected, who was sad because his Gurudev had departed, his father had departed, now sees this verse flying. It's almost like some novel. You're just sitting and some page of paper comes flying to you. You see, even in the life of so many of our acharyas, they are performing their bhajan. They are standing in the middle of the river and deities come floating to them. Apne जीवन में तो होता नहीं है. Even if deities come naturally, we are not able to worship them. And for the acharyas, deities come floating. And even if they push, they again come floating. You have Gopal Bhatta Goswami, you have Jayadev Goswami. And here you have Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, a page comes flying. And he reads this verse from the Adi-Lila, gets full inspiration, and now starts spreading Mahaprabhu's mission with full force. So every verse, Prati Shloke, Prati Akshare, Nana Arte Kaye, Krishna Tulya Bhagavad Vibhu Sarvashroy. Every verse, every syllable of the Shastra is so powerful that it can inspire jivas. What to speak of reading the whole Bhagavatam? What to speak of reading the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita? If we just take one verse has the Shakti to drown us, to inundate us in Krishna Prem. So now, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was inspired and now he started spreading Mahaprabhu's mission, and likewise Prabhupada got inspired and Prabhupada started spreading the mission. And just like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur got the mood from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to accept and embrace everyone, Srila Prabhupada was also like that, following the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, ready to accept and embrace everyone. Hayagriva Prabhu found this property of New Vrindavan, 1969. So when he found this property in 1969, he got the news that Prabhupada is going to make him the temple president of New Vrindavan. Now he didn't want to become temple president. He thought, Arey Baba, I found a property, now Prabhupada is giving the responsibility to me. So now he didn't want to become temple president. So he made one point after another, one bullet point. If Prabhupada says this, I will say this. If Prabhupada says this, I will refute like this. If Prabhupada says this, I will refute like this. One point after another he had made that I don't want to become temple president. Prabhupada calls him to his room. So Hayagriva Prabhu goes. Hayagriva Prabhu goes inside and Prabhupada says, so Hayagriva, I have an instruction for you. And now he's convinced Prabhupada is going to say, become the temple president and I will shoot answers 1, 2, 3, 4. मानो रट्टा मार के बैठे थे कि अभी बोलेंगे तो अभी I will reply. Prabhupada said, Hayagriva, I want you to take sannyas. Out of syllabus question. He didn't expect, he didn't see this coming. He said, sannyas. Answer in अभी क्या बोलेंगे? Syllabus से बाहर आ गए question. So now he's processing. And Prabhupada said, yes, I want you to take sannyas. Now Hayagriva Prabhu prior to that had a history that he joined and then he swayed away, he left. So he told Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, I just left. Prabhupada said, no problem. You stay with Tamal Krishna Maharaj, you stay with Jayadvaita Maharaj, you stay with Satsvarup Maharaj. You can, they are sannyasis, you can be with them. He said, Prabhupada, Shri Radha Goloka Nanda ki. Yeah. He said, Prabhupada, following 4 regulative principles is a challenge. I just left. Prabhupada said, no, don't worry. They are all sannyasis. If you just stay with them and you preach, you will be fine. He said, Prabhupada, but what seva will I do? Prabhupada said, same seva that you were doing earlier. So earlier he was the editor, ISKCON's first editor. So he said, Prabhupada, same service that you were doing. So he started saying, Prabhupada, I cannot do this, I cannot do this, I cannot do this. And Prabhupada was also not giving up. Prabhupada was also saying, no, you can become sannyasi, you can become sannyasi, you can become sannyasi. Finally he said, Prabhupada, you ask me to do anything, I will do, but not sannyas. Prabhupada said, okay, become temple president. Krishna Bhakta ei bada chatur. Devotees are very smart and Prabhupada is Vaishnav Chudamani. Prabhupada said, okay, become temple president. Now what will he say? So he was made the temple president. He became the temple. Khud property find ke khud temple president ban gaya. So Prabhupada has this mood like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, ready to accept and embrace everyone. Whatever the background was, how much ever they swayed away, Prabhupada never rejected it. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood is such, he never rejects anyone. Gurudev's mood is such, that they will never reject. How much ever we get swayed away, doesn't mean you should get swayed away. But even if we do, Gurudev is so merciful, he will never reject us. Jayananda Prabhu, because of whom we have the Rath Yatra festivals, whose photo we keep. Such a versatile personality. Such a versatile personality. Jayananda Prabhu, when Srila Tamal Krishna Maharaj was getting Brahman Diksha, Jayananda Prabhu told Tamal Krishna Maharaj, can I also come with you? So Jayananda Prabhu was already Brahmanically initiated 1 year back when Tamal Krishna Maharaj was getting Brahman. So he is that senior to Tamal Krishna Maharaj. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, you are senior to me, you don't have to ask, like, you can come. So Tamal Krishna Maharaj went inside for Brahman Diksha, hearing mantras, and Jayananda Prabhu also came. So Prabhupada looked and said, why have you come? You are already initiated. So he told Prabhupada, I want to hear mantras again. I am not able to chant them. So Jayananda Prabhu had a challenge with Sanskrit. So even chanting the Gayatri mantra was a big time challenge for him. So he told Prabhupada that I want to hear it again from him. Prabhupada said, okay. So Prabhupada first chanted the Gayatri mantras to Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj left. Now it was time for Jayananda Prabhu. Prabhupada chanted 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Now this is going on and on and on, and Jayananda Prabhu is not getting a hold of it. For 30 minutes, Prabhupada was chanting the mantra. For 30 minutes, he was chanting the Gayatri mantra, and Jayananda Prabhu could still not get a hold of it. And he has already been initiated 1 year back. So after 30 minutes, Prabhupada said, my dear Jayananda, you chant the way you want, Krishna will accept. My dear Jayananda, I promise you chant the way you want, Krishna will accept. Because you are doing so much service for me. This is secondary, Krishna will accept you. I promise Krishna will accept it. So Prabhupada was very, very merciful. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, ready to accept, ready to embrace everyone. So we find Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he started spreading this mood and mission, we're talking about Prabhupada's wit, Prabhupada's humor. Like in English, you have a saying, right? Like father, like son. So Prabhupada is having humor, which means his father, Saraswati Thakur, should also have it, spiritual father. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was also no less. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was an astrologer, and he would see the palm. So many times he would see the palm of the brahmachari disciples, and he would see and say, "Chal beta, shadi kar le. Time to get married." So when Saraswati Thakur would come, many brahmachari disciples would put their hand behind, because they knew Saraswati Thakur will come and check their hand and ask them to change ashram. So they would put their hand behind. One time when they were there in a train journey, they were going from Jagannath Puri to Mayapur. So one brahmachari disciple, you see in Indian trains, you have the side berth. You have 2 seats and you have the side berth. So on the lower side, one brahmachari disciple was relaxing. He was sitting like this, and Saraswati Thakur was sitting ahead. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur looked and said, I think time for you to get married. Chal beta, shadi kar le. So he didn't understand. He said, why Guru Maharaj, what did I do? Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, seems like you need support in your life. You're taking support, right? Seems like you need some support in your life. Go and get married. So the moment he said that, all the disciples sitting there start saying, I can see already many are sitting straight. Hare Krishna. घर घर की कहानी. So, हाँ? You are straight. थोड़ा support है. Now straight. So Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur was also very, very witty, and Prabhupada gets this. And we find Rupa Goswami explains in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu the 26 qualities of devotees. One quality is they are very humorous. Very humorous. That doesn't mean those who are humorous are pure devotees. In the material world, you have comedians. Kapil Sharma. Doesn't mean Kapil Sharma is a pure devotee. But those who are pure have a quality of being comedy. Doesn't mean the other way around. Not all comedians are pure, but all pure, those who are pure have the ability of being very witty. So we find Srila Prabhupada starts writing this Chaitanya Charitamrita. The understanding why Prabhupada paused Bhagavatam, because sometimes question is asked that if he already reached 10th canto, he could have finished it. Why do Adha Dura come? Why leave it half and then go to Chaitanya Charitamrita? Because Prabhupada had the same fear like the way Kaviraj Goswami had. If you see in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Kaviraj Goswami, when he was writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, was very old. So much so that his back was semicircular. He couldn't open his eyes. His hand was trembling. That is the age he writes Chaitanya Charitamrita. And we probably with a straight back and sane senses and perfect eyes and perfect ears and perfect hands and perfect legs, we still may or may not have read Chaitanya Charitamrita as it is. Yatharup. Our Chaitanya Charitamrita is as it is in our closet. But Prabhupada had this fear like Kaviraj Goswami. Because Kaviraj Goswami was thinking to himself, I have finished Adi-Lila, but what if I'm not there to write Madhya and Antya? The world will be bereft of the pastimes of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So we see in the Madhya-Lila first chapter, he gives a full synopsis of Madhya and Antya. In one chapter, he gives a complete synopsis. So even if I am not there, Kaviraj Goswami is thinking, even if I am not there, at least they will get synopsis of Mahaprabhu's pastime. Nothing is lost. So Prabhupada takes the same mood from Kaviraj Goswami, because Prabhupada is also old, at least from a physical body perspective. Otherwise, Prabhupada is Sachidananda, is eternal. So Prabhupada gets the same mood that what if I don't finish the 10th canto? What if I don't finish the 10th canto? So Prabhupada gets that mood from Kaviraj Goswami and writes a synopsis, this Krishna book. And likewise, he finishes Krishna book, but at the same time, he has the feeling that now that they have got Krishna book, which is a synopsis, at least they know what 10th canto is all about. But Chaitanya Charitamrita is still pending, the English version. So Prabhupada finishes this and jumps there. You see how much anxiety Prabhupada took for all of us. To write one book is a big challenge. To translate that, to give commentary to that, go on morning walks, initiate disciples, establish temples, teach them deity worship, teach them Gayatri mantras, teach Prabhujis how to wear a dhoti, teach them how to cook. One man creates a revolution. Creates a revolution. How can we leave the lotus feet of Prabhupada? Prabhupada has given so much in our lives. So much. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we find all this while we are simply introducing the scripture. The class has still not started. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we find that Mahaprabhu, Sriman Gauranga Mahaprabhu, so many personalities, so many associates of Mahaprabhu are described. Whenever the Supreme Lord comes down, his associates also come down. Swaparshada Sviya Dhama Saha Avatari. Swaparshada Sviya Dhama Saha Avatari. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes down, Swaparshada, he gets his own Parshad. Sviya Dhama, he comes down from his own Dham. In fact, he gets his own Dham. He gets Golok Dham, he gets Nadia, he gets Navadvip, he gets Jagannath Puri. Saha Avatari. So we find so many of Mahaprabhu's associates are described in the pastimes of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. But fundamentally, we find that we are talking about the compassion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how merciful Mahaprabhu is, how compassionate he is, how Mahaprabhu is ready to accept and embrace everyone. Mahaprabhu teaches this principle that even if you're Bhagavan, you have to associate with devotees. Associating with devotees is the most important limb of Krishna consciousness. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kai, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Complete perfection can be achieved just by being around devotees. One time Narad Muni went to the house of one personality. He went to the house of that personality. He sat down, he ate. Prasadam and all is done. Then he realized he has knocked at the wrong door. He was supposed to go somewhere else, but GPS has taken him somewhere. Alexa Prabhu, Siri Mataji, they have directed him somewhere else. Now, we are living in a time, if not for Alexa and if not for Siri, छोटे छोटे चीज के लिए we need Alexa and Siri. यदि Alexa ना होई तो तभी की होई तो. What will we do if Alexa is not there? So we find Narad Muni goes to a different destination. Then he realizes, I came to a wrong place. So the place where I initially wanted to go, I will go there. So this personality, he turns to Narad Muni and says, my dear Narad Muni, I have heard this verse from the Shastra. Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Kahe, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. You are the best among sadhus. So what have I gained? Mera to kuch siddhi hua nahi. I don't see like I have got some perfection. But you are a sadhu. So what have I gained? Can you please tell me what have I gained? Narad Muni says, good question. I'm sorry, but I don't know what the answer is. It's a very logical question, but Narad Muni says, I'm sorry, I have no answer to it. Now, how can Narad Muni say that, oh, I am a Paramahamsa, by being in contact with me, you will get Krishna? He will not say that because he is humble. So he says, I don't have answer, I'm sorry. So this person says, okay. Now, death strikes. Yamaraj gives him a red carpet. He gets a red carpet entry. He goes to Yamalok. When he goes to Yamaraj, Yamaraj has made punishments for him. So throughout his life, this personality was sinful. So punishments are decided for him. So this person says, I will accept punishments. But first you tell me, what did I get by meeting Narad Muni? That question is still not answered. I met Narad Muni, who was a sadhu. What did I get? Kya bhala hua mera? So Yamaraj says, good question. But I'm sorry, I also don't have answer to it. So Yamaraj says, let's do one thing. Let's go to Indra. He's Devaraj. Probably he will have answer to it. So Yamaraj, Narad Muni, and this person, all three of them, they go to Indra. And they go and ask Indra that, my dear Indra, what has this person gained? He met Narad Muni, but what has he gained? Indra says, good question, but I don't have answer to it. Logical question, but I don't have answer to it. Indra says, let's go to Brahmaji. He's Vidata. He's creator. Oh, maybe he will have answer. So now, Indra, Yamaraj, Narad Muni, and this person, all of them march their way towards Brahmaji. They go and ask Brahma that, my dear Brahmaji, what has this person gained? He met Narad Muni, but what has he gained? Brahma says, good question, but I also don't have answer. It's a good question, logical question, but even I don't know what he has gained. So Brahma says, let's do one thing. Let's go to Shivji, Shankar, Bholenath. Let's go to Shivji. So now all of them go to Shivji. Who all? Brahmaji, Indra, Yamaraj, Narad Muni, and this person. Like Pancha Panda, all of them go. They go to meet Shivji. And they ask Shivji, my dear Shivji, he met Narad Muni in his life. But what has he gained? Can you please tell us what has he gained? Shivji says, good question, but I don't have answer. So now Shivji also does not have answer. Shivji says, let's do one thing. Let's go to Vishnu. So they all of them go to Vishnu. Who all? Shivji, Brahmaji, Indra, Narad Muni, Yamaraj, and this person. 6 personalities. All of them. They go to Vishnu. They go to Vishnu and say, my dear Vishnu, we have a question. This personality met Narad Muni. What has he gained? Shastra talks about Sadhu Sangha. What has he gained? Vishnu says, no, Vishnu doesn't say that. Vishnu says, when Vishnu hears it, Vishnu says, the gain that he has obtained is Brahmaji, Indra, Shivji, Yamaraj, Narad Muni have escorted him, have all given him a red carpet entry to Vaikunta to meet me. What more can you get? Red carpet entry. He who had his eyes set in Yamalok, now the Devata of Yamalok is getting him to Vaikunta. Lord Vishnu says, this is what you get by meeting sadhus. This is the fruit of sadhu sangha. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized sadhu sangha very much. In fact, when Mahaprabhu would be there in Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu would have darshan of Jagannath from Garuda Stambha. Why Garuda Stambha? Because Garuda is a devotee. So Mahaprabhu's mood is Jagannath may or may not see me, but he will see Garuda. If he sees Garuda, I am next to Garuda, he will also see me. Strategic. So next time when we are standing, we can stand here. Because Golokaran will see Prabhupada, and if he sees Prabhupada, he will see us also. I think tomorrow Sunday feast, yahan khali hoga, everyone is standing here. Huh? Reserved. First come, first basis. So we find even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he also had the same mood. When he would go to meet Jagannath, take darshan of Jagannath, he will also stand near Garuda Stambha, because Supreme Lord will see Garuda. And if he sees Garuda, he will see him. So the purpose, the agenda of coming to the temples, yes, it is to meet the devotees, but it is to associate with them and hear from them. When we come in an association, like-minded association, Sajati Ashray Snigdhe Sadhu Sangha Swato Vare, Goswami explains. When we come in the like-minded association of devotees, we don't speak about things of this world. We don't speak about what is the government doing, or who won the FIFA World Cup, or what is Indian cricket team doing, or these things which are commonly spoken. When we come in association with devotees, Bodayanta Parasparam. Whatever we have heard, we should share. And whatever they have heard, we should share. That is Sadhu Sangha. Otherwise, if we come to a temple, yes, we may be in devotional clothes, but if we are talking non-KC topics, then how is that Sadhu Sangha? That is not Sadhu Sangha. So when we come with devotees, we have to make sure that we speak about Krishna. Especially in the temple when Radha Golokanand is there. So coming to the temple is very, very important. Meeting the devotees and taking darshan of the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada was in New Zealand. Prabhupada came to Auckland. Prabhupada pastimes are so sweet. So sweet. Prabhupada is like a rasgulla. Now, whichever pastime you take, it is very, very sweet. Prabhupada came to New Zealand. And Prabhupada looked at the altar. Gaura-Lila in the altar. So Prabhupada offered full Sashtang, Dandavat Pranams. And he offered obeisances. And he got up. Now in the altar was Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. So Prabhupada was confused. He said, wait a minute. When I saw earlier, it was Gaura-Lila. I offer obeisances less than 10 seconds. Now personality has changed completely. Now it is Jagannath. What is the mystery? Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam. Even Prabhupada was not able to understand. Now the devotees were so enthusiastic that they had made a rotating altar. So few minutes Gaura-Lila, then Gaura-Lila go behind, Jagannath come ahead. Then Jagannath go behind, Gaura-Lila come ahead. Prabhupada said enthusiasm is good, but not so much enthusiasm. You better make another altar for them. Deity worship, there is some vidhi. Whatever. Practical realization. So they had made rotating altar. Prabhupada said, it is good that you want to worship both, but make a little bigger altar. Person is taking darshan, one personality. Offering obeisance is getting a personality has changed completely. So coming to temple is very important. Taking darshan of the Lord. Of course, we are happy that personalities are not changing here. When coming to temple, seeing the Lord. More than we seeing the Lord, we have to come with the mood that, my dear Lord, you please see. Because what can we see? What can these material eyes see? Aprakrita vastu nahi prakrita gochar. Material senses cannot perceive spiritual reality. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur one time was giving a class. And one person came and Saraswati Thakur is giving a class. He didn't sit for his class, he went and took darshan. And from there itself, he left. So Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, then he said, what have you gained by doing this? This is nothing but eyeball exercise. You're simply moving the eyeballs. What have you got? I am giving Krishna here, Srila Saraswati Thakur said. I am giving Krishna here. If one sits and hears, then we can realize the Supreme Lord. Likewise, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur one time came to his mutt in the morning, Mangalarati time. So one local was standing there. He was his disciple only, was staying close by. So he was standing, and in the altar were Radha and Krishna. Now Radharani has a nickname called as Rai. R-A-I, Rai. That is Radharani's nickname, Shastra explains. That's why in Braj also we will find many times Radharani's address as Rai. That's like we have nickname, not pet name. Pet name to kutte ke liye hota hai, but ours is nickname. So likewise Radharani. In fact, because Radharani has it, it is there in this world. Because the concept of nickname is there, that's why it is reflected in this world also. So Radharani's nickname is Rai. So Saraswati Thakur entered the temple. He entered from there, and a person was standing here. And morning Mangalarti time, the altar was closed. And looking at the closed curtain, this personality was singing, Rai Jago, Rai Jago. From behind, Saraswati Thakur came and slapped and said, Tum Jago, Pehle Tum Jago. First you get up. Now you have that adhikar that you are waking up, Radharani. First you get up. First you wake up. And you wake up by hearing Krishna Katha. Pehle Tum Jago, Fir Rai ko jagao. Srila Saraswati Thakur was hilariously heavy. He could be heavy, but he was also hilarious. Hilariously heavy. So we find, we are talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We are just switching back and forth. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhupada, and in between Srila Saraswati Thakur, of course. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so kind and so loving to all his associates. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we were making this point, accepted and loved everyone. Even though Madhai threw the pot at Nityananda Prabhu. Sometimes this question is asked. Not the question, but it's a confusion. Between Jagai and Madhai, who threw the pot? Sometimes this question is there. And we fear to ask, like, devotees will think, itna bhi nahi pata. Itna saal se movement mein ye bhi nahi pata. Sometimes this thought is there. Jagai and Madhai, who threw the pot? At least I remember when I was small, I would have this confusion. How to remember? So one Prabhupada disciple had told this. So I just remember it that way. He said, easier way of remembering is Madhai, M. M became mad. Madhai became mad and he threw the pot. Easier way of remembering. Madhai, M became mad and he threw the pot. So even though Madhai threw the pot, Mahaprabhu got angry, yes, but did not reject. Devananda Pandit was so offensive. Yes, Mahaprabhu got angry, but still did not reject. Gopal Chapal. Yes, Mahaprabhu got angry, but Mahaprabhu did not reject. Likewise, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's son-in-law, Amogha. It's very interesting that Mahaprabhu, when he was there in Jagannath Puri, was invited by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya for prasadam. Our favorite activity, prasadam. Generally, in ISKCON centers, we find for class there will be 50. For prasadam, it will increase exponentially. That 50 will become 100, 150. In our ISKCON centers, one thing is guaranteed. If you keep gold here, you may get it the next day. You keep a plate of prasadam, you will not get it. You will get gold back. But if you keep a plate of prasadam as it is, gone forever. Yadgatvana nivartante. Once it goes in the hand, it will never come back. It will never come back. So prasadam is favorite activity. In fact, most devotees end up becoming devotees by the power of prasadam. Most of us, most centers we find. The power of prasadam is such, it just attracts. So Mahaprabhu was invited for prasad. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was guarding the house because he didn't want his son-in-law Amogha to come. Now, Amogha was very critical, envious, like Ramchandra Puri. Very critical and very envious. So, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was guarding so that his son-in-law doesn't come. And there comes a point when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya goes inside. And when he goes inside and little lack of attention and concentration, Amogha sneaks in. And when Amogha sneaks in, he sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His plate is filled with rice. It's almost like a Giriraj mountain, filled with rice. And when Amogha sees this, he looks at it, sannyasi, eating so much. Not correct. You're sannyasi, you're virat. You should eat less. You're eating so much. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was so angry when he heard what his son-in-law said. Mahaprabhu was smiling. Mahaprabhu didn't take it in an offensive manner. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, the father-in-law, got so angry. Very angry. We find even Ramchandra Puri, when Mahaprabhu was there, so outside Mahaprabhu's residence, there were ants. There were little ants that were going. Now, ants may be there for different reasons. But Ramchandra Puri sees the ants and he thinks, oh, ants are there outside the house, which means inside the house sweets are there. And inside the house only one personality is there, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Which means outside is acting like sannyasi, but inside is eating sweets. Hey, what sannyasi? This was Ramchandra Puri, very critical. And Amogha was no less. Amogha looks at the big rice pyramid. Giriraj Govardhan. And he says, hey, sannyasi, you're eating so much. Not good. You should reduce. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got very angry. Very, very angry. One time Srila Radhana Swami Maharaj was in Radha Gopinath Mandir. And it was Nirjal Ekadashi. So you see, those who have been to Gopinath, when you come from outside, there are two ways of entering Govinda's restaurant. One is from outside and one is from inside. From inside the temple also, from the kitchen area you can enter. So Maharaj was outside. Maharaj was outside and he was there with his disciple. And near the Govindas, it was Nirjal Ekadashi. So near the Govindas, one devotee was eating pizza. Ekadashi pizza. And nowadays for Ekadashi you get everything. Pizza, pasta, lasagna, cake. Gone are those days where Ekadashi was a austerity. Now it's like relaxation. Sab kha sakte hai. Ekadashi ka sab kuch banta hai. So he was standing outside and he was eating pizza. And now this devotee turns to Radhanath Maharaj and says, Maharaj, Nirjal Ekadashi, eating pizza. Hindi में बोलते हैं ना चुगली करना, चावी लगाना, not required, not required. He tells Maharaj, Maharaj, eating pizza, fasting day, Nirjal day. And the reply that Maharaj gave, my goodness. Srila Radhanath Maharaj gave a reply. He said, for him, the person who's eating pizza, for him, his stomach is fasting, but his stomach is feasting, but his ego is fasting. For you, your stomach is fasting, but your ego is feasting. And between the two, he is better. It's better to have something, but be in a very humble mood. For him, the stomach is feasting, but the ego is fasting. For you, the stomach is feasting, and the ego is, or the other way around. Gets confusing. Feasting, fasting, fasting, feasting. But you got the essence. So the point is, even if it's Nirjal day, fasting day, yes, we may be doing Nirjal, and some other devotee may not be doing, but doesn't mean we look down at them. Every devotee is different. It's possible that that devotee is having some prasad so that he can do service. But on the flip side, if we are doing Nirjal and just sitting and not doing any seva, well, another devotee is better because he is having something and doing some service. He's serving devotees, he's serving the Vaishnavas, serving the Lord. Navayogendra Swami Maharaj was once in one of these ISKCON centers and he was invited for prasad, evening time prasad. So he sat down and prasadam plate was served. So he had one bite and immediately kept it down. Dear devotees, please hear this carefully. He sat down and the plate of prasadam was kept. He had one bite and he just kept it down. And Navayogendra Maharaj called the servant and said, who cooked it? Who prepared it? So they said, Maharaj, so and so devotee. So Navayogendra Maharaj said, this is not prasad. He said, no Maharaj, we offered. Now our understanding is offer kiya to prasad ho gaya. So they said, the Navayogendra Maharaj said, we have offered it. Maharaj said, no, this is not prasad. Krishna has not tasted it. Radharani has not tasted. This is not prasad. I said, okay. Now what can you say? Maharaj is saying, Guru Maharaj is saying, what can you say? I said, okay. Then Navayogendra Maharaj said, tomorrow when he is cooking, go and see what he is doing while he is cooking. So they said, okay. Next day, they went. And while this person was cooking, he had big headphones. Bose, big headphones, JBL. He had big headphones. Now, all this while he had headphones. So people were thinking, wow, he is hearing Prabhupada classes. Pure devotee, while cooking, hearing Prabhupada's classes. Now, this time when Navayogendra Maharaj said, now they wanted to see what he is doing, what he is hearing. So when they took the headphones off, under Bollywood gaane chal rahe the. He was hearing Bollywood songs in the deity kitchen. They told Navayogendra Maharaj that, Maharaj, this is what is. Maharaj said, I told you, this is not prasad. Krishna will not take it. The consciousness in which we cook is very, very, very important. Offering is, yes, great. But the consciousness that we carry while cooking is very, very important. This is Radharani's kitchen. And Radharani is kind that she has given us entrance into her kitchen. After so many lifetimes. Labdhva sudurlabam idam bahusambhavante manushyam arthadam anityam api hadira turnam yateta napate anumrityu yavan nishreyashaya bhagavan khalu sarvatasya. 11th canto Bhagavad. Labdhva sudurlabam idam bahusambhavante. After many, many, many lifetimes, we get a human life. It's not like an H1B lottery. Ki lag gaya. Human life is more rare than that. Is very, very rare. I sometimes, when I'm speaking to the youth are such that they don't accept the words of the Shastra directly. They want science, mathematics. So let's come to our mathematics and let's come to science. We say human life is rare. How do we mathematically understand human life is rare? How much species are there? 8.4 or 84 lakh. I will say 84 lakh. Indian math is easier for me. 84 lakh. 84 lakh species. How many human types? 4 lakh. 4 lakh, correct? 84 lakh total, 4 lakh human species. Divided. What is the probability? 4.7%. Dear devotees, the probability of getting a human form of life is 4.7, less than 5%. It's almost like getting into an Ivy school. This is reality. What is the acceptance percentage on Ivy school? 2%, 3%? Human life is like that. 4.7%, not even 5%, dear devotees. And that we have got it. After many, many lifetimes. And not just got it. Even after getting human form of life, there are atheists. But in the atheists, we are not atheists, we are theists. But in theists, we are not those theists also who are just coming to the temple on Sunday. Throughout the week doing time pass and just coming to the temple on Sunday. We are not even like that. In that also, you have people who get swayed away and eventually get initiated by those who are not bona fide. We are not even in that category. We are not even in the category who are worshipping demigods. Our sampradaya is not even streamlined for Vaikunta. It's streamlined Braj, streamlined Vrindavan. And on top of that, it doesn't end here. We are also fortunate to have a bona fide spiritual master who can take us back home, back to that Vrindavan Dham from where we come. It doesn't end at 4.7%. It goes on and on and on. It doesn't get any better than this, dear devotees. We are so lucky. There are so many in North Carolina. How many are there here for Katha? Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatataamapi siddhanam kaschit maam veti tattvataha. Bhagavad Gita. Out of many thousands of people, one becomes serious and one perfects his life. And that time is now. And Radharani is kind that she has given us entrance into her kitchen. So how important it is to cultivate the right mood while we are cooking. This is Radharani's service. So Maharaj said, this is not prasad because his mood is not right. Srila Prabhupada was in 26 2nd Avenue. And as we discussed, Monday, Wednesday and Friday, Prabhupada would have his Bhagavad Gita classes. The reason we are talking about prasad, you may think that Prabhuji gave the topic of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and now out of nowhere it's like Prasadam Charitaramrita. Prasadam Lila is going on. The reason we are discussing this is we spoke about Amoga, about how he became critical of Mahaprabhu eating prasad. So we are coming back to that. Prabhupada was in 26 2nd Avenue. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, he would have classes. Now they were all hippies. Now hippies, we know, may not have that level of sitting probably for a 1 hour class because philosophy is very new. Even seasoned devotees sometimes find it difficult to sit for like hour and a half. So Prabhupada was very intelligent. Krishna Bhakta E Bada Chatur. Prabhupada was very intelligent. So now these people would come for the class, 15-20 minutes into the class, they would get up. And now they would want to leave. But while they are leaving, Prabhupada was so intelligent, he had kept the bucket of prasadam near the door. Chole, puri, pakoda. Some devotees are already like, bolte jao, Guruji, bolte jao. This is the most tastiest class we have had. Prabhupada had kept buckets and buckets of prasadam outside. Now, these hippies, they would come till the door. They would smell the fragrance. Now they want the prasad, but how can they put their hand? It's not etiquette. So now they would again come back and sit in the class, waiting for Prabhupada to finish the class. So those buckets of Prabhupada was Prabhupada's version of Lakshman Rekha. You could not cross. Those who came inside once cannot go out. Yad gatva na nevartante. So Prabhupada would keep buckets there. That's a very intelligent way. If you want people to sit for your class, keep buckets of prasadam there. Out of etiquette, they will not put their hand. They are forced to sit in your class. Once they sit in their class is done. Now you can have prasad. They will take the bucket out of it. Oh my God. Purport by Ujjwal Rasananda Prabhu. They will take the bucket also. Yes, I think that is also possible. My goodness. So that was Prabhupada's version of Lakshman Rekha. Prabhupada Rekha. You could not cross that. Huh? 26 2nd. Who was 26 2nd Avenue. This is in Manhattan. It's a storefront. It's still there. And that's where Prabhupada started ISKCON. 80s? Oh, here. Oh, okay. I heard, where is the temple? Achha. See, even for those who didn't know, they got the address. Srila Prabhupada was once with Tamal Krishna Maharaj. This is Prabhupada Lila. Srila Prabhupada's pastimes are very, very purifying. Very purifying. Prabhupada was sitting with Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And Prabhupada was feeding Tamal Krishna Maharaj. Chapati, puri, rice, dal. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj was really full. And he was telling Prabhupada, Prabhupada, enough, I am done. Prabhupada said, no, more. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj was thinking, Prabhupada is saying, Jivha Vegam, but here he himself is feeding me so much. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj was a sannyasi. So he was feeding him so much. And now Tamal Krishna Maharaj was completely full. And now Prabhupada puts his trump card out. Srila Prabhupada tells Tamal Krishna Maharaj, give me advance Lakshmi for all the Back to Godhead magazines that are there in the godown. Give me Lakshmi, then you go and distribute them. So first, you generally distribute the books, then you get Lakshmi. Prabhupada said, you first give me the Lakshmi. So if you have given me Lakshmi, you are forced to distribute those books. Now Tamal Krishna Maharaj was so full, he couldn't even move. He said, yes, Prabhupada, as you said. Prabhupada's strategy was sometimes very difficult to understand. Feed till the neck, take book dakshina, and now you're forced to go and distribute. Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, yes, Prabhupada. Very interesting strategies Prabhupada would have. So Amoga, back to your story. Amoga was very critical. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got so angry that he started chasing Amoga with a stick. Hey, I told you not to come inside. Started chasing him with a stick. But somehow Amoga ran. And when he came back, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya fell at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, my dear Lord, forgive me. He is my son-in-law, but he doesn't know etiquette. My dear Lord, please forgive. Mahaprabhu said, don't worry, no problem. But Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was still angry that my son-in-law is criticizing, is being critical, is being envious of the Supreme Lord. Amoga, next day morning, falls sick. The news comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Amoga is suffering from cholera. Now we're talking about 500 years back in the past. There's no insurance. There's no United Healthcare and none of these insurances are there. No protection of any form. No 401k, nothing. And now he's suffering with cholera. So when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gets to know, he's very happy. He said, good. You criticize Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is what will happen. But Mahaprabhu's heart was bleeding with compassion. The Supreme Lord is so merciful, even those who are critical to him, he cannot give them up. It is not his nature to give up. You see, even in pastime of Putana, when Putana came and she saw Krishna, our acharyas explained that Putana was so beautiful that even Maya, Yashoda and Rohini were thinking that as if Lakshmi Devi has come down to Braj. Is she the mother or are we the mother? Identity crisis, even from Maya, Yashoda. Who's the mother? So she went to see Krishna. And as she went to see Krishna, Krishna was so beautiful. Krishna was so very good. Sunasikagramauktikam swachanda danta panktikam navambudanga chikanam namami nandanandanam karena venuranjitam gate karendra ganjitam dukula pita shobhanam namami nandanandanam namami nandanandanam namami nandanandanam namami nandanandanam namami nandanandanam. Rupa Goswami explains it is Nandanandashtakam. What is the beauty? How beautiful is Krishna? Sunasikagram Auktikam. Krishna has a nose ring. But not a nose ring here. Here. I don't know what you call it. But septum. Septum. Okay. Mataji will know it better. So Krishna has a septum. Sunasikagram Auktikam. And Swachanda Danta Paktikam. Krishna's teeth are very beautiful. Maya Yashoda would see the teeth of Krishna. When Krishna was very small, she would tell Krishna, Krishna, open your mouth. And Krishna would open. And she would count the baby milk teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4. One would be hanging and one would not be there. And Maya would be so enamored by the beauty of Krishna. Our teeth we know. Angam galitam palitam mundam dashana vihina jata tundam vriddho yasi grihitva dandam tadapi namunchati asha pindam. What does this mean? Very rhyming words. Angam galitam palitam mundam. When the person becomes old, what happens? Angam galitam palitam mundam. This becomes a soccer field. Nicely shining on Sharad Purnima. Nice full moon. Angam galitam palitam mundam. Dashana vihina jata tundam. It starts with 32. Then it becomes 5 on this side, 6 on this side. Cricket team, 11. Then 2 here, 2 there. And then finally dentures. People do so many things for looking beautiful. Old age is something people fear. Is there anyone who wants to become old? Koi nahi. How many want to become young? Sir. हाथ ऐसा उठ रहा सबका अंदर से सबको उठाने बाहर से ऐसा. Everyone wants to become young. And you see so many ads also in India. I remember when I was small, the ads were also centered around how you can become more beautiful. There would be a person who would come and he would put Fair and Lovely. Hi, handsome, hi, handsome. And now the person will become very, very beautiful and he will attract everyone. है ना? देखे हो पहले क्या ad? It is all centered around how you can become more beautiful. So, Angam Galitam Palitam Mundam. This becomes a soccer field. FIFA World Cup. This is our Qatar. Nice football goes on. All the Messi and Ronaldo can play here. That Messi and Ronaldo are the two hair that are. Hare Krishna. Oh Krishna. Dashana Vihina Jata Tundam, no teeth. Teeth is also falling. Vriddhoyasi Grihitva Dandam. Now you need a stick because leg is not functioning. Tadapina Munshati Asha Pindam. But still the Asha Pindam, the pot of desires is still not done. We feel that when we are 5, Bhakti I will do when I am 10, Prabhuji. जब 10 साल के तभी भक्ति करेंगे. When you're 10, you're told I will do bhakti when I'm 18. Balavastha Krida Sakta. When you're small, you want to play with toys. Now, if it is boys, then maybe cricket, soccer, and girls, I don't know. The only girl toy I know is Barbie doll. So when kids are small, they want to play with toys. Balavastha Krida Sakta. Now, when they turn 18, these toys don't mean anything. Now they need a bike. They need a bike. It doesn't end here, devotees. They need a bike. By the time they're 20, 21, you need a person sitting behind the bike. And we almost imagine the person is sitting behind the bike and the music is also. Taruna Vasta Taruni Asakta. When you turn 18, you need Taruni because you're Taruna. So the question is, Prabhuji, please do bhakti. When you tell them to do bhakti, they will say, Bachpan mein nahi hoga, because abhi khelne ka samay, it is time to play. Prabhuji, bhakti to, when he turns 18, we will see. 18 hoga, 18th birthday, you need a bike. 22, you need a person sitting behind the back, and it's almost like the music is there, the perfect wind is there, your hair is blowing. Your eyes if you are like the next Shah Rukh Khan. Tarunavastha Taruni Asakta. Now you tell them, Prabhuji, now you can perform bhakti. Prabhuji, how? 25 mein nokri, 26 mein chokri. Now it's time to find a job. Education is done. Now time to find a job. Now then we have to get married. Prabhuji, once I'm married, then I will do bhakti. 100%. Then I will do bhakti. Okay? You get married, whatever age it is. You get married. Then you ask them, now Prabhuji, do bhakti. Prabhuji, ek bacha ho jaye. One child, Prabhuji. The family will be complete. One child, then I will do bhakti. Okay. Child is done. Prabhuji, now do bhakti. Prabhuji, second child, Prabhuji. Second child is done. Now Kutumba is complete. Full family is complete. Because now the first child does not have a second child to play with. तो उसको भी कंपनी मिल जाएगा, हमारा भी काम हो गया. So ठीक है, family is done. प्रभुजी, now you do bhakti. प्रभुजी, अभी ऑफिस का काम है प्रभुजी. Project deadlines are there always. Holidays are the time, especially you can realize this on a Monday because there's a long weekend. Monday morning we will be the happiest because it's a holiday. Monday evening we will be the most distressed because now the holiday is going to be done. Every holiday, that's the thing. The morning time We are blissful. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. And evening time, we know our state. So we find that when you ask them to do bhakti, childhood they will not do. Then marriage is done, they will not do. Children are done, they will not do. Then project deadlines, they will not do. Then they will become vriddha. Vriddho, when they become vriddhavastha, then there is chinta. There is anxiety. You see, many grandparents, they are always having this anxiety. My grandchild told me that 4 o'clock he will come from school. It's already 4:15, he has still not come. They will be standing in the door. The school bus still has not come. Have you seen grandparents do that? Anxiety. But still, we will not perform bhakti. And human life will just go away that way. By saying after, never after. It will never come. Time is now. Need is enormous. This Krishna consciousness movement is not a side business, dear devotees. It's an emergency. It's an emergency. Everything can hold, not Krishna consciousness. This is priority. Manusha Jivan is given for this. Everything else can wait. This cannot wait. Especially the youth. Because the energy is sky high. The senses are perfect. This is the time we can make rapid advancement, maximum advancement in this youth. Because once age catches up, I don't know, but those who are married may have this realization that once you're married, the responsibilities increase. And now the health also slowly, as age progresses, health deteriorates. So you cannot do the same level of bhakti that you want to do. The desire is there, but the body is not cooperating. But youth is the time when body is cooperating, senses are perfect. All that we have to do is with full on, fire up, with full intensity. We have to march our way. So time is now. Don't delay, do it today. Bhakti is meant for everyone, not just for the old age. It's meant for everyone. So back to our pastime of Amogha. Amogha now gets cholera, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to see him. When Mahaprabhu looks at him, Amogha looks at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he has tears in his eyes. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looks at him and says, "My dear Amogha, why? Why are you so critical? From where did you get this quality of becoming envious and being critical? Your father-in-law is such a nice personality, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Where did you get this quality from? Why are you like this? Why don't you chant? Why don't you pray to Jagannath? Why are you like this?" And now that he has cholera, he realizes the mistake that he has done. And Mahaprabhu blesses him. That, "My dear Amogha, I bless you. That may this disease that you have of becoming envious, of being critical, it's a disease. To be critical of others is a disease. Every devotee is endowed with something that probably the other devotee does not have. Every devotee is special. We have to convince ourselves. Every devotee is special. Every devotee can do something that the other devotee cannot. If all the devotees can do the same thing, then how is there variety? Krishna on purpose gives different abilities to different devotees so that there is variety. So there is nothing to be envious. There is nothing to be critical. If any devotee is doing any service, any activity, we realize that it is Krishna who is empowering this devotee. Krishna Shakti vina nahi tar pravartan. Without Krishna Shakti, one cannot do any devotional service. And if someone is doing it, Krishna Shakti is flowing through him. So Mahaprabhu blessed him and made him chant the mantra for this dark age of Kali, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Amogha was cured of his disease. Cholera was secondary. The primary disease was his envy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu touched his heart, touched his head, and blessed him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu are like the sun and the moon. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like the sun, and Nitai is like the Nitai Chand. He's the moon. If not for the sun and moon, there's complete darkness, there's complete andhakar. Complete darkness. And complete darkness means hell. If not for the sun, just imagine a place where there's no sun and moon. It's hell. There's nothing there. Prabhupada was once in London. He landed in Heathrow Airport. And wherever Prabhupada would land, the reporters would come. Swamiji, Swamiji, Swamiji. They would come with the questions. So Prabhupada landed in Heathrow and the reporters came. And they asked various questions to Prabhupada. One of the questions they asked Prabhupada is, Swamiji, how do you define hell? Swamiji, how do you define hell? Now, Prabhupada has about 30 seconds to answer. Now, you cannot give a Bhagavatam class on the 5th canto. You cannot take Pavaneshwar Prabhu's notes and give a class. Prabhupada has only 30 seconds to answer. So what will you answer? How do you define hell? Prabhupada said, oh, hell, it is cold, dark, and gloomy, just like your London. He said it is cold, dark, and gloomy, just like your London. Prabhupada would come up with these answers instantaneously. So without a place where there's no sun and there's no moon, that is like hell. And Nitai and Gauranga are like the sun and the moon. But so many times we see Mahaprabhu gets angry. Mahaprabhu gets angry. May not be in the case of Amogha, but yes in the case of Devananda Pandit, yes in the case of Madai, yes in the case of Gopal Chapal, yes in the case of Ramchandra Puri, yes in the case of so many personalities. He who's Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. He who's Namo Mahavadanyaya, most magnanimous and most merciful, he also gets angry. He also gets angry. But our rescue operator, our lifeguard is Nityananda Ram. Nitai never gets angry. Nityananda Prabhu never gets angry. Krishna, it's almost like an exam. Krishna's principle, Krishna's funda is you write the exam. If the exam is out of 100, you get 80, then you'll pass. That is Krishna's understanding. Write nicely, no help. You write nicely, then you will pass. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, yes, you study and come. 35 is the passing mark, 35 lele. Once you get 35, you'll pass. Nityananda Prabhu is, you come to the exam hall and write your name, I will pass you. You just come and write your name, I will pass you. Nitai is for us. He no Nitai bine bhai, Radha Krishna pahite nai. He no Nitai bine bhai, Radha Krishna pahite nai. Druda kori dharo Nitai pai, Druda kori dharo Nitai pai. Se sambandha nahi jar, Vritha janma gelo tar. Se sambandha nahi jar, Vritha janma gelo tar. Sei pashu bada durachar, Sei pashu bado durachar. Heno Nitai bine bhai Radha Krishna pahite nai, in bold letters. Without Nityananda Prabhu, no one gets Radharani and Krishna. Our hope is Nitai Chand. Because heart is dark, the sun rises and illuminates, the darkness is dispelled. But it's the moon who decides to rise even amidst the darkness. Yes, Mahaprabhu will rise, and when he rises in the heart, he will destroy the darkness. But in that darkness, there is one personality who still agrees to be with us. That is Nityananda Prabhu. In the darkness, Nityananda Prabhu will still be there as Nitai Chand. How merciful is Nitai? How merciful is Nityananda Prabhu? Till the time we are in touch with Krishna consciousness, till the time we are following the 4 regulative principles, we are chanting our rounds, hearing constantly, reading Prabhupada's books. Srila Prabhupada guarantees there will be no fall down. There will be no fall down. Till the time we follow Prabhupada, success is guaranteed. Success is guaranteed. Because Prabhupada cannot be wrong. He is an eternal associate of Radha and Krishna. By being in touch with Prabhupada and Prabhupada's disciples, all success is guaranteed. Srila Prabhupada was once again in London. Prabhupada's London pastimes are very, very beautiful. If we get a chance, this is something that we can do. I have seen devotees do it. And I'm just sharing it. When we are having prasadam, all of us have a phone and we all have internet in it. We can go to YouTube and there are Prabhupada memories that are there. Every time that we are honoring prasadam, we can watch Prabhupada memories randomly. It's not like a katha that you have to see from a flow. Pick any video that you want from anywhere and Prabhupada's pastimes will flow. The more we keep hearing about Prabhupada, the more preeti we will have for Prabhupada. The more we are in touch with Prabhupada's works, the more we are in touch with Prabhupada, the personality, the more love we will have for Prabhupada and we will not stray around. Preeti na yavad mai vasudeve, the Supreme Lord says. We should have preeti for Srila Prabhupada. And attachment comes when we are in touch with his works, when we are in touch with his disciples. So Prabhupada was in London and Prabhupada was walking. And there was grass. There was yellow grass and there was green grass, fresh green grass. So Prabhupada said, so what is the meaning? Disciples were thinking, what is the meaning from this? What is the meaning from grass? So they were waiting for the Bhaktivedanta purport. What will Prabhupada say? Srila Prabhupada said, yellow grass, the grass gets its nourishment from the root, right? The grass gets its nourishment from the root. But when the grass is detached from the root, it doesn't get nourishment, and that is when it is yellow. But till the time the grass is attached to the root, it gets its nourishment and it is fresh and green. Similarly, Prabhupada said, till the time you are in touch with this philosophy of Krishna consciousness, till the time you're in touch with my books, you will be like that fresh green grass. But the moment we stop associating with the books of Prabhupada, stop associating with the lectures of Prabhupada, that day is not far. We will end up becoming the yellow grass, detached from the root. On our own endeavor, we can never make advancement. This is ground reality, dear devotees. Who is saying? Narottam Das Thakur. Ekaki amar nahi paye bala harinama sankirtane. Tumi kripa kori shraddha bindu deya deho Krishna namadhane. Ekaki amar nahi paye bal. On our own ability, very difficult to make advancement. We need the help of devotees to enthuse us and push us. And now with that devotee, if we are critical, if we are envious, Srila Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj would give a very beautiful example or realization, so to say. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj would say, the devotees whom we associate with, they have the key to the spiritual world. They have the key for our entrance to the spiritual world. Now, if we criticize that devotee, it's almost like we are jamming the doors of spiritual world on our face. Because he has the key to open the spiritual world. And now if we criticize him, the door is almost jammed on our face. So devotees have to be worshipped, have to be respected. Whoever they are, wherever they are from, whether they are new, whether they are seasoned. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, throughout the instances we find, Vaishnava aparad is something Mahaprabhu cannot accept. Hanti nindanti vaidveshti Vaishnavana abhinandati kridyate yati no harsha darshane patanani shat. Offending devotees, offending the sadhus, Mahaprabhu cannot take it. He may accept everything, but when his devotees are offended, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turns into Narsingadev. He turns into Narsingadev. But Nityananda Prabhu is our shelter. Nityananda Prabhu is our rescue guard. He's our life savior. And how Nityananda Prabhu saves our life, we will see that on Monday evening in the whole program. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Nityananda Rama ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, upcoming Nityananda Trayodashi ki, upcoming Gaura Purnima ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari 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 Bol. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Arjun Sakha Prabhu ki.
It's 6:50. So I think we have about 6:50 to be about 8 minutes. If there are any questions, corrections, reflections, we can have some time. If there is nothing, we can do kirtan. If there are no questions, there are only two things that we can infer. Either we understood everything or we didn't understand anything. I hope it's the first one. Many times you see when class is done and devotees come and say that Prabhuji, fantastic class, excellent class. So then the follow-up question is, what did you like in the class? That's a question mark. Then there will be no answer. Prabhuji, fantastic. Sab kuch acha tha, Prabhuji. The whole class was nice. Everything, start to end. The best thing, Prabhuji, was the prasadam prayers that you said. That was the best thing. So, if there is anything. Huh. Paramakaruna? Yeah, we can sing. So 7 o'clock is Gaurarti. We have about 7 minutes. I'm not sure 7 minutes now we can sing Paramakaruna. Or else we can maybe sing tomorrow or the home program for sure. So I'm just keeping that as a cliffhanger so that you come back for the home program again. Yes, Mataji. Right. So we see that Mahaprabhu's pastime, those who committed Vaishnava Prayas, we can examine their lives. Those who committed Vaishnava Prayas, how did they get over this quality of Vaishnava? What did they do? And if we see one commonality in all of Mahaprabhu's associates who were critical, but later ended up becoming pure Vaishnavas, one commonality that we'll find and one instruction that we will find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hammers again and again and again is to chant, chant, and chant. The only time we will, how do we get time for criticizing? It's only because there is lack of Krishna consciousness, and to fill that gap, we fill it with criticizing devotees. But instead, in that time that we have, if we can chant 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, let the tongue as much as possible be absorbed in just glorifying devotees. So the only way that we find from the pages of scripture is to chant. Harinam Prabhu is so powerful. Even Jagai and Madhai, what to speak of Vaishnava, Jagai and Madhai were setting houses on fire. They were setting houses on fire. People, Chaitanya Bhagavat describes, people would fear to come in the street where Jagai and Madhai were there. But what happened? Vrindavan Das Thakur explains, after they started chanting, after they got Nitai's Kripa, they started chanting 128 rounds every day, 2 lakh. And Jagai became Jagadananda. Madhai became Madhavananda by the power of Harinam. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is very, very powerful. It is the dharma of this age. It is the dharma of this age. So we can chant. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj would say, when this question was asked to Srila Gaura-Govinda Maharaj, that what should we do if we have criticized Vaishnavas? Now there are two aspects to this. One, the Vaishnava is still living in this planet. And second, the Vaishnava has departed this world. Srila Gaura-Govinda Maharaj would say, if you have criticized a Vaishnava and he's still living on this planet, go and ask for forgiveness. Because till the time the devotee doesn't forgive, there is no hope. What is the Praman? Gopal Chapal. He criticized Srivas. He had to beg forgiveness not from Mahaprabhu, from Srivas. Mahaprabhu said, you go to Srivas. I will not forgive. You go to Srivas. What is another example? 9th canto, Ambarish Maharaj. So when Vaishnava Aparadha is there, going to the Lord and begging the Lord, Lord will say, I have given in Shastra, you go to the devotee. Devotee will forgive you. Now that is painful. Now that is painful because ego will be crushed. It is very painful to go to that devotee and express that, my dear devotee, I criticized you. I'm sorry. It requires guts. But that's the way. That's the way Shastra explains. Now it doesn't have to be in a public Sunday feast announcement that Prabhuji, I criticized you. It can be one-on-one also. And devotees are kind. They will forgive. So Shastra, these are the two examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita and from Srimad Bhagavatam. When there was Vaishnava Aparadha, they went to the devotee and asked forgiveness. Now what if the devotee has departed? What if the devotee has departed? Like Gaura-Govinda Maharaj, when he was in Mayapur, he was a principal, school teacher. And now you see Srila Gaura-Govinda Maharaj would have a heavy Odia accent while speaking. And many times initially when you hear him, it's little challenge, like difficult to get a hold. Just like many times when you join ISKCON, understanding Prabhupada is a challenge, like the Bengali accent. But after hearing constantly, then it becomes easy. So Gaura-Govinda Maharaj would speak in that heavy Odia accent. And now it's a school, so children would make fun. When he would look at the board, the children would laugh. They would make fun. So, but Gaura-Govinda Maharaj would not say anything. But he exactly knew who are the children who would do it. So one time when Srila Gaura-Govinda Maharaj was coming out from the Chandrodaya Mandir, a few boys were entering the temple. Gaura-Govinda Maharaj called them. And Gaura-Govinda Maharaj said, fall at my feet. So these children said, okay. They fell at the feet. Then Srila Gaura-Govinda Maharaj told them, if you don't fall at my feet and if I don't forgive you, you will go to hell because you have criticized me. And you don't know this. So I am asking you to come and fall at my feet so that I will bless you. Now this is Kripa on another level. Whether you want or not, he is calling you and giving Kripa. This is Nityananda Prabhu. But this is the marg. This is the way. By going to the devotee and asking forgiveness. But if the devotee has departed this world, all that we can do is pray to Krishna. My dear Lord, yes, I was ignorant that time. I didn't know it. But now I realize, and that devotee is not there. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. And Shastra explains, there is one verse that we can chant every day before going to bed. Aparada sahasrani kriyante aharnisham maya dasoham iti mam matva kshamasva madhusudana. My dear Lord, aparada sahasrani. I have done so many offenses. Some are known and some are unknown. So many are unknown. We may or we may not accept. Aparada sahasrani kriyante aharnisham maya dasoham iti mam matva. My dear Lord, please consider me your servant. Kshamasva madhusudana. My dear Madhusudan, please forgive me. Galti ho gaya. I know I did a mistake. I am asking you for forgiveness. Please forgive me. So it's a prayer we can chant every day before going to bed at night. But doesn't mean that just because we know the prayer, it gives us the liberty to offend more. Get the point? It goes hand in hand. Yes, if we have committed mistakes, we can chant this prayer to the Lord and beg him with this mood that I will not commit offense again. And if the devotee is there, we fall at his feet. Hare Krishna. Shri Radha Goloka Nanda ki.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.